Good morning. It's Elaine from Penguin Place Crafts. I had a craft show yesterday, so today is the market recap. Okay, where do I start? I was off to a late start yesterday. I just didn't have everything together the night before. I needed to pack my craft bag. I have a purple craft tote that's always ready to go. I just need to add yarn and patterns. It's got hooks, it's got safety eyes, needles, stitch markers, scissors. Yes, it has scissors. I made sure of that. Actually, it's got scissors and snippers, so I'm not gonna have a problem there, right? So I tossed some yarn in there, tossed in a notebook full of patterns. Okay, should be good to go. Got on the road, got there a little later than planned, but I was able to pull up like right in front of the gym doors. Yay! And instantly, I've got one teenager there to help. So I took a couple bags in just to clear off my wire grid so I could take that in. Came out, have a whole gang of teenagers ready to help me. Plus, my friend Joanna's husband came out. He got the table, they got the bags and the totes, I got the wire grid. Got everything in 2 trips, which was wonderful. So then, moved my car away from the door so that somebody else could have that prime unloading space. Wouldn't you know? Just as I pull into the parking space, one of my favorite songs is being introduced. Brighter Day by Blessing Offer. I'm sitting there like, I want to just sit here in the car with the radio going and just enjoy this song and sing along with it. No. I'm running late. I need to get in there and get my table set up. So I get out of the car. As I turn the car off, the song they're just doing the leading notes into the song. So I get out of the car and I'm singing along. You know there's gonna be a brighter day. Well, I got through 3 or 4 lines of the song and I turn around and there's a guy standing about 4 cars down. And he's just staring at me. I'm like, oh dear. I said, I'm sorry, but my favorite song came on the radio just as I turned the car off and I just had to sing along. He's like, yeah, lady, okay. So I went in, started setting up. It did seem to speed things up to have stuff in the wire grid where I just, take the fabric cube out, set those things up, either in one of these grids or in the cube itself over here. And things went fairly quickly. I have a picture, let's put it there, of about halfway through the setup. And then my scissors went missing. I know I had my scissors. I checked because Arlise reminded me. Yeah, couldn't find the scissors. I knew I had them because I used them to cut the pallet wrapping off the wire grid. Couldn't find them. I wanted to cut up some signs that I made so I could put the signs by the items. Oh, and I forgot a thing of signs. Somewhere there is a brown manila envelope that has the laminated signs for various items like the mini Octos and the candy corns. Nicely printed signs, laminated to be reused. Couldn't find them. They were left home someplace. Okay, so I got stuff set up. Okay, there's a picture of the final setup of the table. And the show started at 10. I didn't get my first sale until 10:20. 2 little items. A micro octo, that's my pattern, free on my blog, and a frazzle. Okay, there's a picture of the frazzles. I hoping, I've got 2 weeks now to my next show. I'm hoping to try to do the tutorial on how to do the frazzles. Yes, my to-do lists. Oh, my to-do lists are awful. So, okay. About 15 minutes after that, somebody came along and bought a butter lamb. Yay! I'm glad I remembered those. And then 15 minutes after that, a mom comes along with her little boy, and he was just fascinated by the flip the fish. And I was explaining, oh, these are like, when you flip the pop bottles, you flip the fish. And I picked one up, and I flipped it, and it landed face down. It worked. Over the course of the rest of the show, I tried 3 more times. At 3 other times, 3 or 4 times, like probably a dozen more tries, I could not get one of those fish to flip properly. But the little guy did take home his fishy. He bought a flip the fish. And then at 11:15, so that was about 20 minutes later, somebody bought one of my dress-up ducks. It's a free pattern on Instagram by Crocheted by Elle. And that took me into the profitable range. By 11:15, my table was paid for. That's always good. Yeah, okay. With, let's see, 120, 129, 150. So that means with that one, my table's paid for. I've got a $2 profit. That was better than 20 shows that I have done. So I have done 20 shows where I either ended up breaking even or in the negative. So the fact that my table was paid for, yes. Okay, then about 10 minutes later, somebody came along and she was going through the $4 micro octo. Just, there's whales in here too. It's like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. I made 4 little micro whales. They're only that big. Because the pattern is written for bulky yarn and I made them with worsted, so they are really small. I totally forgot who made them, but I'll get it up there. She bought one of those and she bought a micro octo. So $8 for the 2 of them. Yay! I'm up to $10 profit. Yay! Then things started to slow down a little bit. It was 40 minutes till the next sale. But my friend Joanna's just across the way. Oh, here, let's put in the picture. I had to look through my cubes and I could see her over there. Could also see the guy behind her. That's secondhand. That's not her husband. That's the guy at the table behind her. But, hi, Joanna. Hi. Every once in a while I'd go over. When things were slow, I'd go over and say hi to her and tell her how things were going. Okay, so at 12:05, I sold another butter lamb. It's Easter in Buffalo. It's getting close to Easter in Buffalo. They're popular. It's a Buffalo thing. Actually, it's a Polish, Ukrainian thing, and Buffalo does have a large Polish population. So butter lambs are just a big thing around here. For Easter dinner, it's a lamb shape that is formed out of butter. You can buy them in the grocery stores, or if you go down to the Broadway market, there's a butcher who sells them. And it's tradition for your Easter dinner. You have the butter lamb. Instead of a stick of butter on the table, you have the butter lamb. Okay, there's your history lesson for the day. Then 12:15, so 10 minutes after that, somebody was going through my $8 bin. Bought a Mushie Boi. Excuse me. Then, just a few minutes after that, somebody bought one of my coffees. She bought an angry coffee. Okay, we're getting there. Oh, that about half an hour after that, these two girls came over, and just judging from my granddaughters, I'd say maybe they were 8 and 10, and they're looking through the $5 bin, and all of a sudden, one of them looks at the other one. Yeah. And they pick up the beer. We want to buy this. And I couldn't resist. Well, should I ask you for ID to show that you're old enough to buy beer? Where's my water? Sorry, I got a tickle in my throat here. Try to get that off camera without knocking off the top dresser. And they looked at each other and just smiled and goes, "It's for our dad." Like, okay. They were just so tickled with their $5 beer that they bought for Dad. Then, just a few minutes after that, someone came along and she bought one of my swinging chicks. Hey, we're getting there. And then her friend, I don't know if it was a friend or her brother with her, was like, "I want to get the frog." And she said, "What? There's a frog in a swing?" "Yeah, there's a frog in a swing too." And I said, "Oh, that one's only $10 because that one's, it's a derpy frog, so it's only $10. Oh, I'll get that one too." So, that took me like that close to $100 in sales. Oh, we're getting there. Well then, about 15 minutes later, a father came with his daughter, and he was letting her look through the $5 bin. "Oh, you can have something out of here." And she picked out a pink and purple turtle. And that took me over $100 in sales. And I was just tickled. Yes. This was my 10th spring show at this school. And I think I had only exceeded $100 in sales at this show 3 times before. So that was a milestone. I'm moving up in the world. Yep. And I know it's, a lot of people would say, "Oh, it's not worth my time going to a show if I'm going to have under $100 in sales." I just don't know how this show is going to turn out. Sometimes it goes well, sometimes it doesn't. Spring shows usually don't go well. I have dropped a lot of my spring shows. But this one, I want to stay in the loop for the fall shows, because the fall shows usually do better. And it's close, and it's for the kids, and yeah. It's not one of my better shows, but I'll keep doing it. Okay, the pink and purple turtle. And then 6 minutes after that, somebody came along and bought my other dress-up duck. So I told her it was $16. She went through her wallet. She had $15. And she looked up at the woman with her. I think it was her mother. And I said, "15 is okay. I'll take 15. So I need to restock dress-up ducks for my next show. A few minutes after that, somebody bought a loopy chicken. Okay, I know, I've said before, that's a pattern. I saw a picture somewhere online, and I made up my own pattern for something looking similar, and I want to put it on the blog. Just need to get my act together and get that on the blog. And now with craft show season coming up, 3 shows in the next month. Or no, this was 1. There's 2 more coming up. Things are still going to be busy, but I want to get that done. And then at 1:30, I sold another coffee, and it was another angry one. This was a day for angry or sad coffees. Just no happy coffees go. What's the deal? Come on, we want happy coffee. And then about half an hour after that, I sold another butter lamb and a micro Octo. Okay. And then 15 minutes after that, I sold 2 more micro Octos. Boy, they were popular. And then at 2:25, just a little more than half an hour before the show ended, I sold one of my Hilde the Highland cows. This woman had come along and she was looking. She goes, "Oh, you don't have any cows?" And I said, "Well, there are 2. They're right there." And I reached behind the table and I brought out the bag. And then I have these. And she's like, "Wow, look at all those cows." And she bought one of the Hildes. I showed her all the Hildes together and she picked one. So that $20 purchase put me up to $166 in sales. So it was $126. Guess who forgot to empty the trash? Yeah, I had 45 pictures and videos in my trash. So my phone decided it was full and shut off mid-sentence. So I deleted my trash. I have room on my phone and I can finish this up. And it's tilted. There, that's better. Okay, so I was saying $126. $2 shy of matching the second best show that I had at spring at that school. If I had insisted on the $16 from that one lady who wanted to buy the duck, I would have been $1 off. Technically, I did sell more because my granddaughter, I have 2 little bowls of bracelets and things that my granddaughter Aaliyah has made. And someone did buy a $5 clasp paracord bracelet that she made. So I owe Aaliyah $5. And I didn't count that towards my sales because it goes right to her. So technically, I did sell. This was the second best of all of the 10 shows that I've done in spring at that school, but I'm only counting it as third because it wasn't my money. It was Leah's. Okay, so I finished up, packed everything up, took one. I got my wire grid wrapped up. I took that out to the car first. It was windy out. The wind was catching that grid. And fortunately, I had it secured on my cart, so that did not tip. I had to hold on to it. Got that in the car, drove the car around closer to the doors, and went back in. And a group of teens was like, "Oh, do you need some help?" I said, "Sure." And I broke the table down now that the grid wasn't on it anymore. And I said, "Okay, if the guy can take the table, everything else, I can put these 2 totes plus something else on top, and you'll just grab anything else." They took it out to the car. I was pushing the cart with 2 totes on it, and I was carrying my craft bag. The wind caught my partial bag of stuffing that I had on top of my craft tote. A partial bag of stuffing secured by a clothespin will roll along like a tumbleweed if the wind catches it. Yep. Fortunately, one of the teens put down what she was carrying and she chased after it with her young legs and she caught it and brought it back. Okay, so I went to Tim Hortons on the way home, got myself a nice decaf coffee, roll up the rim, didn't win. Came home, I told my husband, "Okay, I brought in one load. I'm going to sit in my chair, drink my coffee, and then I'll go bring in another load. And then I'll make myself some dinner, and then I'll bring in another load." So got all these things like in stages. I did get the car unloaded. But I just sat in my chair for the rest of the night, just like, I'm so tired, and I'm cold, and I feel like I'm running a fever, and my legs hurt, my feet hurt, just wah, wah, wah. But after a good night's sleep, I'm feeling fine. I have 4 items to show you that I finished over the course of the last few days. One of the things on my to-do list for the week was to finish a kit. I did. You may have seen him in my posts. I finished this Highland cow. This was a kit that I bought on Amazon. I just love the way he's so sleepy. He's got his head down on his front legs. There are embroidered eyes under there. See, there's the embroidered eyes under his mop of hair. I love this cow. I want to make more. However, I do not want to type from that. I do not want to work from that pattern anymore. The typesetting on the pattern was horrendous. I will take a picture of some, like the assembly or something like that, so I'm not giving away a whole bunch of the pattern, but just the spacing and the way that the numbers and the parentheses overlapped and just, I'm going to retype it. So it's like 14 point and neatly typed and easy to read so that I can make some more of these guys with my own yarn. Okay, so while I was at the show, okay, what yarn have I got? What patterns have I got? The first thing I made was one of my micro octos from memory. And I finished off the green sparkly yarn from bag 17 of my Battle of the Scrap Bags. So let's see, we'll put them over here. The lighting in the gym does not quite catch the true color, but there he is. I'm being too lazy to go find the tote with the ocean stuff and find the bag with the micro octos and dig that out. Just, it's close enough. Then I was looking through the notebook of patterns that I took with me. Nope. So I got on my phone and I started going through free patterns on Instagram. And I found one. And I started on that. I did not have all the colors to finish it. But I started on this heart chicken. Look at that. It's got the wings on both sides. Off the top of my head, I don't remember where this was from. I will put it up there. I searched after the first time. I just searched like free crochet patterns. And I found this. And then when I went back to Instagram, like my phone timed out and I went back and they were back to my page. No, I want where I was before. So I searched heart chicken and I found it then. So when I came home, I had to get a different pink to make the wings and find some red and some yellow from my craft cart and finished it up last night. And I had started a baby octo. Whoops, come on, get your face forward at the show. These are a little bigger than my micro octos and much curlier tentacles. When I got an order last week, I sold 2 of them from that order, and I realized that a lot of them that I had listed on Etsy weren't in my box anymore. So I don't know if I just have some hiding away someplace. I put these in my $8 box for people to go through, and I think I just have sold a bunch over the years and have not updated the Etsy listing to reflect that. So I need to make some more baby octos to restock my listing. Okay, those were the 3 things that I finished up. My plan for the week, I may try to finish another kit just because I have so many kits and I feel like I need to work those down. I'm going to try to keep up with posting on Instagram and my Facebook page, because that is a good habit that we need to establish. Like exercise and flossing your teeth. And I'm trying to work on those too. I need to restock the dress up ducks. I need to restock some micro octos. I need to restock some coffees, some angry coffees and sad coffees, because that's what's sold. And my next show is down by my daughter's house. The happy and sad and angry coffees have been a big hit down there. Just, I don't know. People in Pittsburgh like their coffee more than people in Buffalo. So I'm going to work on those. The show on, see, this was the 15th. No, yesterday was the 8th, on the 15th. 22nd. Down in Pennsylvania is at a school. I'm in the back hallway, and I have all these cubby holes behind me. Cue the picture of my granddaughter helpers and the setup there. So I need to make a list. I need to go through that picture and count, like, I think it's like 28 cubbies that I usually have available to put stuff into. Make a list of 28. Okay, what do I want in those 28 cubbies? Axolotls got a lot of attention at this show, but nobody bought any. Axolotls. Unicorns got some attention, but I didn't sell any. Unicorns I want to put there. Cats, I didn't have my cats out. I didn't have any of my loaf cats out at this show. Need loaf cats in one. We put octopus in one. So I just need to work on what's going in all the little cubbies for the next show. So that's it. This was a long video, especially since it was a two-parter. Thanks to my phone. No, thanks to me forgetting to check everything before I started. Yes, put it on me. So I am going to go, I'm going to go make dinner. And then I'll edit this video, and then I'll probably do some laptop work and play with yarn, restocking stuff. And one other goal for this week, I have a ball of red sparkly scrap yarn about yay big. I need to finish that off so that I finish scrap bag 17 and move on to the final bag. Yes, I love it when I finish a big project. And tomorrow, I'm going to go to the bank, and I have to do grocery shopping. And since I'd say this show went fairly well, I will stop at a thrift store. And if I see a bargain on yarn, I will allow myself a yarn purchase. Just because. Just as a treat. So, okay. Dinner's awaiting. Nobody else is going to cook it. I'm on call. So, bye-bye. Thank you for watching.